Welcome back to Factorio SpaceX Extreme. That's a mouthful and a half. Well, okay, I think I promised I'd have a light show up and running by now, but I actually don't. What I want to show you is some of our stats over an hour. In particular, let's turn off the non-circuit stuff. Be nice if you could do this a little bit faster. Probably is a way, I just don't know it. So you'll have to bear with me. Oh, these even feature down here. How nice is that? So, blue is what? Blue is green circuits. Red circuits are orange, and processing units are green. Green's been fairly constant, but look at these hiccups with red. What I discovered was, if you remember, way back, and it's alright that we're moving in the background because I'm sitting in a train right now in the cargo bay. It's not that comfortable, but you know, we do what we have to. If you remember way back when all we had was our main base, I had a controller for the circuits, and we'll jump down here, for the circuits. So this was the controller. I had, what was it, 200,000 green, 100,000 red, and 50,000 blue or something. If you have a look at like this unload, so we've got 6x8, and each of these can take 9,600 circuits. So to overcome the 50,000, it really didn't take much, and then the red circuit processing at the base would turn off. So no wonder we're running short of red circuits there. So hence I've changed all of the numbers up to levels where I think we are very unlikely to have an issue with where are we now? We're here. Okay. Have an issue with the main base turning off, because we can't really afford the main base to turn off. So that meant that red stayed constant, and you know what happens in Factorio, of course. What are we short of now? Well, if we have a look, red circuits we've got a decent amount of. There's something unfortunately absent, and it's green circuits. So all of a sudden it's now green circuits that are running short. How is our production of them? 279,000. We're burning them up at 315,000. Let's refresh everything. We're burning up copper and iron faster than they're coming in as well right at the moment. So none of that is good. The only good thing is processing units are back to 13,000, 60,000 red circuits. Mind you, we're burning red circuits at 68,000, so yeah, I don't think we can actually get it up to 68, 69,000. We might be able to push green circuits a little higher, but that is our sticking point right now. So, there's that thing. Now, what does all this give us? Let's go to 5-second mode. No, it jumps around too much. So modules. There's 250 plus, and this one 330 or so. That uses by itself an awful lot of processing units. There's 30 in a level 3 module. There's 30 blue circuits. So 330 by 30 is almost 10,000 straight up. So 10,000 of our blue circuits are going straight into modules. Now, red circuits are basically I think it's 5 times that plus 5, so it's 155 times 330. Let's just do that math. So 51,000 of our red circuits are going straight into modules, and well, yeah, a huge amount of green circuits as well. So, and we do need these modules. Let's just have a look at our supply of modules. So we've got 44,000 efficiency modules, 29,000 productivity, but the speed modules are certainly not as healthy. Remembering that we need 8,000 of each of them for the FTL drive, we also need 800 for each of the thrusters. So we still need a lot of modules. When I get, at the moment they're set to 100,000, build up to 100,000, but the numbers of them that we have been steadily dropping, as I guess you would kind of expect. There's not much we can really do about it until the FTL drives have reached a higher level. Fortunately, these two guys don't actually use modules, but Fusion Reactor needing its 8,000. It is 8,000, isn't it? Fusion Reactor, blah blah blah. That's that one. No, it's 400,000. 400,000 blue circuits. So if we're spending 10,000 per minute on modules, there is only 3,000 going towards our 400,000 tally per minute, or 180,000 per hour, which means 2 and a bit, call it 2.5 hours or so. If all that production could go straight to fusion reactors, and it can't, but if all of it could, the fusion reactors are going to take 2.5 hours each to build until such time as we've finished module production. Now at 13,000 blue circuits per minute, and this is assuming a UPS of 30, our processing unit requirement here is basically half an hour, just over half an hour, which is fine. So once everything else is finished, we will probably be able to catch up fairly quickly, but yeah, it's going to take quite a while. So there's probably in the order of 2 days of playing time left in the game. I doubt there's 2 days worth of viewing content, because most of the time the factory can just tick over steadily with the ore patches that we have. I don't need a pre-stacker here, I realized. Let's just make sure that's still the case. Yes, it certainly seems to still be the case. I will build my light show still, because I did see that green was not, like these ones are not operating, although I did build excess. I do remember that as well. There was an excess being built, but I just want to make sure that green circuit pretty much always has a waiting train. So I added another train in here to help that out, and I added more to red circuits. I added one more, I think, to red circuits as well, after switching up the main base. So the other thing that I'm thinking of doing is, again, if we come over to nuclear, like, I think power now, I've mucked around with things to get it under control so power's not causing spikes. We're running this advanced nuclear. We've got like 4 times cost, so it's a smaller stack than otherwise it would be. 4 or 5 times, I forget. But it has caused me issues with this sheer amount of power, and we're probably losing 3 or 4 UPS just having all of that nuclear and its calculations going away. I am thinking of ripping out everything except their reactors, and putting in creative mod infinite power, which uses basically no UPS. I mean, the reactors would still use a bit, but most of it is all the water and the calculations and the energy calculations from that, and so on and so forth. And if we take all that away and save 3 or 4 UPS, which potentially we might, that would help our cause a little bit in terms of getting through the game a bit faster. And I suppose, I mean, the other thing I could do, I could just let the game run for a big chunk, which I don't really like doing. I mean, I've kind of, to this point, many hours in fact, let's have a look at time. Where are we there? Right, time. So 10 days, so I guess that's what, 246 hours, coming up to 247 hours of gameplay. To this point, there hasn't been one instance of needing to or wanting to just let the game run. There's always been plenty to keep me occupied in terms of ensuring effective and efficient throughput on the main base, or having to build stuff, respond to changed issues, fix things, etc., etc. So, but this last slog could be something that some casual monitoring is all maybe that's required while the game just sort of blasts on. I'm wondering maybe if I were to go somewhere interesting, like maybe the launch silos. Let's just have a look at the map. I'd probably travel down there. Where are we? Over here. I'd probably travel down here so that we could focus on what is being launched, and I'd be here in person so you could hear the rockets, but then you know, speed up the playback. Probably take the music off and put recast the music on top, but keep the game sound effects so that you can kind of hear rockets at well, a fast rate, I guess. Work out how fast it goes and kind of do a bit of a time lapse to you know, check on it, you know, part way through, I guess. So but do a time lapse so that we can actually, you know, get some serious progress in a single episode, as opposed to maybe we'll see a launch or maybe we won't, as we effectively are only getting 10 minutes of playtime inside a 20-minute window. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts. I guess while I'm up here, it is time to do a little bit of smarts. I don't think I need smarts to direct the trains around. They seem to be doing a decent job of that, especially red now. Everything is running. It's a lot easier for everything to be running in the red zone. So I mean, there's a red train. So what I guess I would like to see is do I just connect to one of those maybe? Save me a little bit of effort, have some lights. So there's 3 input components and an export component, and what we could do is use a green wire, say. That will give me a balance of everything that we've got, but we are only interested in green circuits, plastic and copper. Oh, let's not muck around. Let's put one of these down. Let's put that wire back in. Don't care that I lost one green wire. What sort of mega base would it be if I worried about things like that? Just a quick check to see if we're near a threshold. We're not. Like 1 billion iron is a bit of a threshold in my eyes. So what we need probably is a decider. Actually, do we even need a decider combinator? Because what I could do, well, we probably do, because we're probably going to want to set color. So we have plastics, which is white. We have copper, which we would want a copper color for. These could actually be done by constant combinators if I have any. I do. So plastic is already white. Copper, we've only got these colors. Copper ends up having to be yellow, or we can't use green. Yellow. You can be green circuits, and you can be the state of our red. So what we want to do, for example, is connect you to here and to here, and you can use colors and enable, disable. Green circuit greater than 0. And now I'm not really sure how I want this to work. I mean, what sort of volume should I consider normal or good, or, you know, something to worry about? I mean, copper at 45,000 is probably plenty. Although, actually, quite a few of these are sort of out. What's plastic at? Plastic's at 53,000. So what does it go to when a train turns up? How long? It's got 21,000 to go, okay. Maybe if it's greater than 0, if it's greater than or equal to 20,000, if it's greater than or equal to 40,000, if it's greater than or equal to 60,000, greater than or equal to 80,000, 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, yeah, something like that, maybe. Give us an idea of the supply. And then red circuits. The filter is, we want 2K in all of these. So we're not actually getting meaningful information from there. Wow, the volumes here change dramatically, don't they? I may need to actually run wires to get the information for the red circuits to get something meaningful. Because, I mean, just getting this negative, whatever it is not particularly meaningful. It's only meaningful if it's 0 sort of thing. Okay, let's do that. So, green circuit is greater than or equal to 20, 1, 2, 3. I forgot to hit use colors. 40,000. $60,000. And 80,000. And we have 120,000, so that would be a correct signal. Okay. You need to feed here and here, and then bounce 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll copy that to there, but we will change that to copper plate. Use colors, but you're getting green. So it's getting the color from here. And that's coming back up to here, so that's not very good. We will have to take away that signal and try this. That means we need both colors. Alright, so I guess we can do that. Copy that to there, but it is greater than or equal to, and it is 20, 1, 2, 3. That one needs to be 40,000. That one needs to be 60,000. And that one needs to be 80,000. So this is really just a little bit of funsies so that we can quickly see if any supply is in dire straits. So plastic's the other one, isn't it? Your color needs to be white. So if plastics are greater than 0, plastics greater than or equal to 20,000. Okay, let's just type 20,000 and copy, paste, paste, paste. $40,000. $60,000 and 80,000, and that is correct. So that basically is just giving us a reading. Now, as far as red circuits go, so these request 2,000. Oh, I can't do both. Read content, set requests. That's a bit of a bummer. Because I'd like to know... Well, we don't have to set requests via a constant combinator, do we? Oops. We're on map mode, are we? Read contents. 2000. Read contents. Very good. So it's changed to read contents. That's what we want. Now, if we were to put... How far can... won't quite do it, will it? So that's where we have the values. We probably have to continue with green wire. Bounce, 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 bounce. Use colors. Okay, red circuit greater than 0. What is the red circuit tally? 31,000. So that could be 64,000. So these could be 16, 32, 48. Red circuits greater than or equal to 32,000. Whoops, don't do it that way. $48. And 64. So there you go, there's our little light system. So what it means is we can see at a glance that we have a supply of plastic, we've got copper, we've got green circuits, and we do have some red circuits that are getting loaded, but it's not enough for a train. If it was right at the top, it would be a full train load all by itself, but it doesn't matter because the train's been there for a little bit. And we can have a look at that from the map view. That's very nice. So let's take a blueprint of that. We will need that bit. Hopefully we don't get bowled by a train. Okay, so that looks like it all measures up. Um, 2K. I doubt these have suddenly changed to... No, they haven't. So we need to still do this bit manually. You want to read contents and order in 2K. Oh. So there aren't very many there, that's good, but there are some. Did we get a connection to here? No, it doesn't look like we did. Oh, we don't actually have the RoboPort. Right, and I don't have any RoboPorts on me. And I don't have my train, so I guess we might have to ask the supply train to come and bring us a RoboPort. or two, and this is less than desirable. We don't actually want trains like this blocking the way. Hopefully that will fix it for next time. How are we doing? 51,000, that's not too bad. That one's 56. We'll live with it this one time. Right, so supply train, we need a roboport. We may as well get... Well, there's bound to be more than one roboport that turns up. We definitely don't have any in here, do we? We do, actually. Alright, let's just order one. Let's just order 5. Bring me 5, guys. We got 1, that's all we need. So let's head down here, finish off our light show. And there you have it. So, plenty supply. Red circuit's pretty low because they're all being put into this train. I'm going to do something similar to green. I'm going to fix up this. I'm going to do that off camera so that a little bit of progress happens. I'll see you next time. Thanks guys, thanks for joining me, and bye bye for now.